So what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be playing some Magic Arena, and we have a spicy deck for you today. We're going to be running a mono white list that is boasting an 80 to 85% win rate on the mythic ladder. What's crazy is that this deck only runs one rare in the form of Lurrus. Everything else is common or uncommon and just a bunch of basic planes. The deck is very low to the ground. You play a dude, you buff it up, hopefully with all that glitters to make it really, really big, and then you protect it with God's Willing and Karametra's Blessing. The deck is actually pretty fun. I played a couple games off stream or off recording, and I want to show you what it can do. Let's run it through the gauntlet, see how we perform. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for this one. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy the video, and if you do at the end, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And yeah, thank you so much for the support, guys. Alright, so let's get right into game number one. See how we perform here. And yeah, this is the perfect and ideal hand. You have some dudes, you have a protection spell, or you could also use Alsaid as a protection spell, and some buffs, so we'll definitely keep this. Very solid keep. And we are going first. Depends. I think here we just run out the Brood. Definitely just get him down to 19. This route, and we'll keep God's Willing open. Our opponent is shocking quite a bit here. Play Hawk. We are okay with that. Rather him counter the Hawk than the Alsaid. Paradise Druid, not a problem. And just like that, our opponent is on a 2-turn clock. So I think here we will be making both of these unblockable. Still allows us to keep up God's Willing. And we don't even have to pay for it this turn. Very nice. Actually, I think he can bounce this. Another God's Willing. Okay, so we'll definitely go down this route, I believe. And 1-turn clock for our opponent. So he's gonna have to have 2 removal spells for this. Unless he decides to eat the food. Looks like he is. Pretty good on our opponent's end. Make some more food. So we're gonna need to find exactly that. We'll take it. And we'll make it unblockable. And I had fun. I hope you did too, opponent. Oh, I forgot he can just sack an each time, but he's on a 1-turn clock here. However, we did drop the shields to do that. Okay, so that's good for us. If he's creating food, that means that he probably doesn't have a removal spell here. This is looking pretty good for us. Alright, and that's that. Pretty easy game, pretty straightforward game, and really quick game 2. Let's move on to the next one. We're going to try to speed run through this gauntlet and see how far we get. And I think where this deck really shines is the sticking power that the minions have. They're very low to the ground, but they can get really, really big, as you just saw there from that last game. So here, unfortunately, it looks like we are going to have to mulligan this. We don't have a creature, and this is a little bit better. We do have our bread and butter and all that glitters. No real protection spell if we only have an Al-Said. And I think we will be getting rid of the Sentinel's Mark here, since this already has lifelink. And our opponent is playing Yorion, which is a little bit of a tougher matchup, especially if we don't have protection. So we'll play it out, see how we do here. And I think the best thing we can do, honestly, either play is going to be pretty risky for us. So I think we'll just be efficient with our mana here and maintain a strong hand and play it that way. So on 3 mana is where we have to be worried, I believe, because that's when our opponent's going to have either Clarion or Teferi. Okay, 2 to the bottom is pretty good for us here, I think. Unless he already has an answer on the board, and it looks like he does. Unfortunately, we don't have a protection spell here, or we would have been in a really, really strong position.
Let's try this.
Okay. The question is, do we play Luris here? I don't think we do. Actually, yeah. We'll just go ahead and play Luris. Next turn we can play Al-Said to protect it, and we'll start buffing the Luris. I think that sounds like a good plan for us. And I think Clarion here would be pretty devastating. Okay, our opponent keeps it on top. Not good for us. And yeah, Clarion it is. We will keep the blessing up here though.
That's more like it.
Totally forgot we can't even use the Karametra's blessing here. We will have to take care of Fairy this turn, I believe. But yeah, from what I imagine, this isn't gonna be an easy matchup for us.
This is hardly my worst defeat. Trust me, you'll thank me later.
luckily that was a pretty low impact Yorion. Godzillin would have come in really handy there. And unfortunately, it is gonna get bounced. Not much we can do about it.
I got this.
Well, at least be able to redeploy the Sentinel's Eyes here. Ginger Brute, probably one of the better draws we could have asked for here. But of course, Essence Scatter. And the second one. Alright, not much we can do from here on out, guys. I think we're just going to go ahead and scoop it up here. He's going to get full control of this game, and we're just going to keep falling further and further behind. So congrats to our opponent on that one, and we'll move on to the next game. Alright, and into the next game. Let's see how we do here. We have a Hawk, no real protection spells though. We are playing against an Obosh, which is most likely the mono red variant. Yep. So when you're playing against a mono red deck, you want to try to buff up something that has lifelink. When you race red with a lifelink creature, you're usually gonna end up winning. So we'll be more than happy to take this race. And to make it really, really difficult for our opponent, we're going to go ahead and do this. And we'll do this. They don't have a lot of interaction, and usually it's either a shock or a stomp if they do. And that's not going to be enough to deal with a 5 toughness creature here. In addition, just to play even safer, we will not be blocking. Again, like I said, we'll be more than happy to race him in this scenario. In this scenario, we will block. Goodbye. Alright, so our opponent's going to be taking 9 here, putting him on a 1-turn clock. And still a 1-turn clock, as we can just protection from red and bypass the Phoenix here. So GG to our opponent. Very quick game, very easy game. Much better draw than the last turn, or the last game. And we'll go ahead and move forward to the next one. Definitely feel like this would be a really, really fun Friday night Magic deck to take to your local store, and I can imagine it being very, very cheap to build in real life. But this hand, not the worst, not the best. We do have a dude, we have some buffs. Unfortunately, no protection though. Another mono red deck. I am glad we are playing a Al Said turn 1. We again back on the lifelink race game, and I would be more than happy to play that game. Robber of the Rich. Fortunately, it did get a God's Will. God's Willing. That's pretty unfortunate for us. I think we will go down this route. So here, I don't know if you want to block. The reason for it, he could have a shock or a stomp to go with it, or maybe an infuriate, and additionally he has a God's Willing to protect. I think I would rather have another Aegis before I start considering blocks. Additionally, he is attacking because he has some type of combat trick here, so I think we'll just go ahead and take this damage. Next turn, I'll be more inclined to block as we have a Blessing and we have an Aegis to buff up our Alsaid. Okay, pretty fortunate for us that he hit land on his light up the stage. Okay, so I think we're gonna stick to the plan that we had. Sure, we'll take the 2. Don't know if that is the best use of a shock. And if our opponent attacks here, we will most definitely be blocking, and we'll be able to get rid of God's Willing. Would have really liked to have that solid footing. That would have made us attack for 8. Ember Cleave is still not enough. Go ahead and pass the turn. And again, lifelink races as a mono red deck is very hard to win. Yeah, and our opponent just scoops it up, knowing that he is way too far behind, even with an Ember Cleave. So pretty easy game there for us. Very favorable matchup for us as well. But let's get right into the next game. Would have been really cool to just go ahead and 7-0 this. Unfortunately, that Yorion deck did have a pretty mediocre draw, and they did have good answers. But hopefully you get 6-1 here. Let's see. Or sorry, 7-1. Okay, so we do have pretty good hand here. Another Yorion deck. So we will be prioritizing, God's willing, a little bit more, trying to keep that open as much as possible. And I think we will be trying to buff up our healer's hawk here. But we will start off with the gingerbread, put him on a clock. Only 19 more to go. Okay, he keeps on top. It's not ideal for us. Okay, all that glitters here is pretty good. Looks like our opponent might have gotten a pretty slow start, which is good for us. Looks like he's digging, but he's not finding what he needs. Is he missing a land drop here? Okay, of course not. That would be pretty sketchy. Not much we can do about Narset, but it is fine.
Like we meditate and prepare.
Okay, he does find fires. Now, question is, do we deal with the Narset? Do we just keep on attacking? I think the answer is we just keep on attacking. Although it does allow him to Okay, so let's slow down, let's think about this. If we attack the Narset, it's one less card that he can find to deal with whatever we have. But it does put one more turn on his clock, and the longer this game goes, the harder it is for us to win. We do have a protection spell available. I think we just continue the race, and I think we just do attack here. And our opponent is in a one turn clock. If we can survive this turn, I think we'll probably win next turn.
Put thoughtfulness before action.
I think Shatter the Skies is the only thing that would be pretty bad for us here. I don't think Clarion is going to do it. Teferi will also not do it.
Sorry I'm late.
And the reason we chose blue there instead of white is if we choose white, then we're gonna be in a pretty rough
Might
spot.
be a bad idea.
And GG to our opponent. This was a much better draw than the first game we had, and things flow a lot better when you actually have protection spells to deal with their interactions. So very satisfied with that one. Move on to the next one, and let's see how we do in the later stages of the gauntlet. But overall, still really happy with the deck, having a lot of fun. Hope you guys are having fun watching, and yeah, try this deck out for yourself if you like it so far. Alright, pretty decent hand. We have plenty of protection, and we have some solid buffs here. Opponent is playing Karuga. So we will have some pretty good early interactions, and I think we're gonna get very, very far ahead very early here. And I think it's gonna be very difficult for our opponent to come back from this pretty explosive start. I do not like that, friend.
Longer. Stand by and watch. Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Okay, so unfortunately we didn't hit another enchantment or another aura, so we can't kill him this turn because this only goes up to 9. So we will just deal with the fairy here.
That didn't go according to plan.
And we'll go ahead and pass. I think it's very unlikely we lose this game. We're really, really far ahead here. And we have double protection, so couldn't ask to be in a better spot here. And GG to our opponent. Very quick game, very explosive, as you can see. The deck is just working very, very well. And it's very good when you can prevent his Teferi bounce. Okay. Couple more games to go. This is where the gauntlet usually gets interesting. Let's see how we do in the last couple of games here. But yeah, overall I can't ask any more of this deck for how much of a budget deck it is. It's absolutely crushing. And this is a pretty funny hand. Pretty questionable keep if you ask me. But I don't want to mulligan to 6 and risk not having a creature. I think we will just try it out. And if our opponent is on red, that bodes really well for us. Unfortunately, he did have the turn 1 shock. Fortunately for us, we drew a creature right away. If we can dodge a shock here, we'll be in a pretty good spot. And we have protection available. I think we're just running away with this game here. And unfortunately, we don't have a lifelink creature on the board. That's where we really, really win the race. But if we do draw a land here, we'll most likely play the Lurrus. Okay, we'll play the Healer's Hawk. And we'll make this unblockable. That is definitely a problem here. Okay, so we can give protection here. Alternatively, we could take 7. That seems pretty rough. But I do want to try to keep the Hawk on the board if at all possible. So if we get a couple of enchantments on the Hawk, I think we'll be in a better spot. Honestly, it's a pretty tough position. I think our best course of action is to block here, protection here. And I think that's what we're going to do. It also lets us scry to set up our next turn. And thankfully we did, because another land would not have been the case here. unfortunately, we still gotta land. And I think we're gonna have to do this to prevent us from falling further behind. I think we will just attack with everything here. We'll be more than happy to trade as we can move our auras onto our Hawk or our Al-Said here. I think the only problem we encounter here is a Ember Cleave. And I think we will block accordingly, because either way we win next turn off of this alone. So we will just go ahead and play as defensively as we can here by blocking there and blocking there. Okay, and opponent doesn't have it. We gain some life off of this and we win on the crackback. Can't complain. And GG to our opponent. Very quick game again, a little bit scary. Turbron is always really difficult to deal with on a mono red deck. As you can see, the games with against red flow a lot better when the creature we're buffing is a lifelink creature. It just makes the race so much better for us. But here we go into the last game, hopefully we do manage to just win this one, and it'll be a pretty successful gauntlet. Only fall into that one Yorion deck with a very mediocre draw. But let's see how we do. Okay, pretty decent hand. We have a dude, we have protection spell. We're playing against Alurius, so we could be playing against the mirror match, or we could be playing against some type of Mardu Knights, maybe the cycling deck. But either way, we'll start off with our opponent at 19. Spicy. What is our opponent playing? And here we will definitely keep protection spells available. Anything that runs black usually has some type of interaction. Okay. Friend, if you attack, I promise I will block. That doesn't work against me, friend. Okay, it looks like our opponent might have forgot to read what Gingerbread did. Fortunately, that wasn't a very exciting last game, but hey, we will take it. Very easy gauntlet. Only losing one to that Yorion deck. Pretty bummer. Would have liked to seen 7-0, but hey, we'll take it. Can't ask for more than that. Guys, my honest opinion, I think the deck runs really well. It has a lot of potential. I would highly recommend building the deck and testing it out for yourself. With all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please, if you enjoyed it, consider hitting that subscribe button, consider liking the video, and again, thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for the support, and have a wonderful day, guys. See you later. Actually, let's claim our prizes, see what we got. Alright, pretty good. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you later.